Meet Gary, a 30-something Californian with a sun-bleached goatee and a head full of dreams. Gary, like many of us, found solace in the digital world. Dreams, ironically, fueled by the virtual carnage of Grand Theft Auto 5. The game offered him an escape, a chance to be someone else, even if just for a few hours. Gary wasn't just a fan, he was devoted. His dedication to the game was almost religious, spending hours on end immersed in its chaotic world. He'd spent countless hours living vicariously through Trevor Phillips, the game's psychotic anti-hero. Trevor's wild antics and lawless lifestyle were a stark contrast to Gary's own life. But Gary, bless his cotton socks, wanted more. He craved the thrill, the excitement, the unpredictability that Trevor's life offered. He yearned to break free from the shackles of his mundane life and step into Trevor's stained tank top. Spoiler alert, terrible idea. The allure of a virtual life can be dangerously deceptive, leading one to forget the value of their own reality. Life imitates art, the first missions. It started innocently enough with a simple idea that would soon spiral into a series of unexpected events. Borrowing a neighbor's rusty lawnmower, Trevor would call it commandeering. It was an old, clunky machine, barely holding together, but it got the job done. The sound of its engine roaring to life was like a call to adventure. Spray painting crude insults on a rival supermarket's billboard. Okay, maybe not that innocent. Under the cover of night, with the stars as his only witnesses, he let his creativity run wild, leaving a mark that would be talked about for weeks. Gary, fueled by cheap energy drinks and a misguided sense of purpose, was on a roll. Each can of energy drink seemed to give him a new burst of inspiration, pushing him to take on more daring and ridiculous tasks. He even convinced his bewildered dachshund, Mr. Pickles, to be his chop, minus the attack training, thankfully. Mr. Pickles, with his innocent eyes and wagging tail, became an unwitting accomplice in Gary's escapades, adding a touch of humor to the madness. Upgrading to chaos mayhem in monotony. In a city where routine ruled and predictability was the norm, chaos was an unexpected guest. The streets, usually a picture of order, were now scenes of confusion and disarray. But like a gamer unlocking new levels, Gary's antics escalated. He wasn't just playing a game, he was living it. Each day brought a new challenge, a new level of mayhem to conquer. His life had become a series of unpredictable events, each more outrageous than the last. He repossessed a sports car from a used car dealership, red, hot-wired, and crashed into a water fountain. It wasn't just any car, it was a sleek red sports car that screamed luxury. The thrill of the chase, the roar of the engine, and the inevitable crash into a water fountain were all part of his chaotic symphony. He led police on a low-speed chase in a stolen ice cream truck, top speed, a terrifying 30 miles per hour. The sight of an ice cream truck, usually a symbol of joy, now turned into a vehicle of absurdity. Crawling through the streets with police cars in tow, sirens blaring in a bizarre parade. Gary was on a collision course with reality, and the crash was going to be spectacular. The city held its breath, waiting for the inevitable impact. Emergency responders were on high alert, ready to deal with the aftermath of Gary's latest escapade. The stage was set for a dramatic collision, one that would leave a lasting mark on the urban landscape. The Trevor Phillips run a bridge too far, and then came the piece de resistance. Inspired by Trevor's daredevil antics, Gary decided to recreate the iconic bridge jump. Only instead of a virtual bridge and a respawn button, he had his sights set on the Golden Gate Bridge and a very real parachute he'd bought online. Reviews, surprisingly mixed. Busted the long arm of the law. Let's just say Gary's aeronautical skills were less Red Baron, more slightly deflated party balloon. He landed with the grace of a drunken pigeon directly onto a police car that was, ironically, en route to stop him. He emerged from the crumpled mess dazed, confused, and smelling faintly of freedom and failure. Reality check, from digital mayhem to concrete walls. So, Gary traded his virtual rampage for an all-too-real jail cell. Gone were the days of hijacking virtual helicopters and evading digital law enforcement. Now, his biggest challenge was surviving lukewarm coffee and prison food that could double as a stress ball. Turns out, reality doesn't come with cheat codes.